protocol, so I'm leaning on existing protocol. I'm not going to make a comment without appreciating the eloquent presentation of Honorable Nina Okeji, which definitely capture the entirety of our reasoning and the state of affairs in our nation. Mine is just to roll out a few statistics on the new law we have attained as a nation. We have never been where we are today in this country. If one had told me that we are going to have a Nigeria like this, I would definitely argue it. Amnesty International just released an evaluation and assessment that since the inception of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, over 10,000 Nigerians have lost their lives. Over 10,000 Nigerians. That is what Amnesty International gave. But we know that it's more than double that amount. Because in Benue alone, over 6,000 people have died within the time that President Bola Ahmed took over. That's the statistics by Amnesty International. In Plateau, over 2,000 people have lost their lives according to Amnesty International. It's so sad that in the last 3 years, we've lost 2 Brigadier Generals to Boko Haram. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And I begin to ask myself, they are not just Brigadier Generals, they are commanding officers of their garrisons. And I ask myself, if this happened in America, would Trump be comfortable in the White House that an American general was murdered, killed like a chicken, and nothing happened? By terrorists. Nobody arrested, nobody interrogated, and we continued as a nation as business as usual. Only one pilot was missing in Iran. America mobilized everything possible to rescue that pilot. But we have a president who doesn't care. Judiciary is on test. We want to see what they will do. And the whole world is watching to see what they will do. I won't say more than that. I also want to say, with subsidy, Buhari borrowed 87 trillion naira in 8 years. Please take notes. With subsidy, Muhammadu Buhari borrowed 87 trillion in 8 years. Without subsidy, Tinubu, so far, in 3 years, borrowed 157 trillion. 157 trillion in 3 years. I want anybody to show me what we have done with that money. This is the first time in the history of the world where a $13 billion infrastructure project, which is the highest in the history of Africa, was awarded without bidding. Awarded to a Lebanese friend. The same Lebanese friend that Tinubu carried our second highest national honors, exclusively reserved for the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON, put it in a briefcase and exported it to Paris to decorate a business partner, a Lebanese man. This is not the Nigeria that Awolowo dreamed of. This is not the Nigeria that Azikiwe spoke of. This is not the Nigeria that Sedona Amadu Bello labored for. Really, may the labor of our heroes past never goes in vain. As I wrap up, you will see from his speech when he was addressing his coordinators a few days ago, Mr. President prompted the judiciary because he called our convention illegal. So he has constituted himself to now be in a court. He has the power to declare what is legal and what is illegal for a matter that is pending in court. And as at today, no court in Nigeria have pronounced our convention illegal. But addressing his coordinators, he was giving a body language and signal to the judiciary by addressing our convention illegal when no courts said so. That is prompting the judiciary. That is very unpresidential. Very, very unpresidential. Only someone with arthritis of the brain will react in such manner. And he went further in that interview to even say that to show desperation, to show that he's confused. He even told us that we want to scare him. For saying we want to scare him shows that he's already scared. And really, we are going to scare him. We will continue to scare him. Out of that desperation, he said, him and Buhari now, that they are the same. That he is a reincarnation of Buhari. And this is Tinubu from Ilapiji in Osun State. Buhari from Daura in Katsina State. Where they jam. Meanwhile, every loyalist of Buhari is either in jail or being harassed. And yet you say you and Buhari, you are the same. It shows that he is a man that is holding on to the straw. He's appealing to the sentiments of the North because his days are numbered. And finally, I want to call on all members of ABC across the country that in an unjust society, silence is a crime. All tyrants in the world, when confronted, are cowards. We must put on our seatbelts. The battle to rescue this country must be a battle of no retreat, no surrender. Every one of us must speak. Won't mind us is God. Where we need to protest, we will protest because Nigeria belongs to all of us. Government is not owned by those in government. Government is owned by the people. Democracy will continue to be government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We will not allow Tinubu's type of democracy, government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu by Sheyi Tinubu for the Chagoris. We will not allow that. So please, arise, O compatriots. ABC call, obey. Tinubu is the most intolerant president in the world. He's the only governor in the history of the world who had 3 deputy governors in his term. 3 deputy governors in his term. And as president, already he has 3 national chairmen. The man who midwife his election to success, Abla Adamu, 3 weeks after he became president, he removed him. Gandhi heard the announcement of his removal on TV. This is the 3rd national chairman of APC in less than 3 years. Shows that he's the most intolerant person. My final word to Tinubu is this. I quote Chairman Mao. Those who make peaceful change impossible, make violent change inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, colleagues. On behalf of the African Democratic Congress Caucus of the 10th House of Representatives, bring you warm greetings and to give a stamp of approval to the text of our press conference so ably delivered by our ranking chair of Foreign Affairs Committee in the days of yore when the National Assembly was a place to be, especially the House of Representatives. The Right Honorable Nena Ukeje Elendu. Yes, for us in the House, like my colleague Nena Ukeje said, the tyranny of the majority cannot be sustained because the minority will not only have their say, but they will put out their facts that the ruling government cannot comprehend with. Darkness cannot comprehend light. And so from the presidency over the last few years, the comedy of errors goes on and on to the independent. I have some hesitation in putting that first letter, Independent National Electoral Commission. Just coming from my constituency this morning, I read that INEC had set up an inquest into the social media macabre dance of its chairman, Professor Joash Amuputan, and that the verdict is that he is not guilty. And I begin to wonder, whoever sets an examination scores himself and proceeds to fail. I also wonder from where within the commission who set up that committee to investigate the chairman, where the prosecutors and the respondents, if there were any, are all staffers of INEC. So, our dear countrymen, we will not stop at this. The INEC chairman stands indicted, as has been shown clearly in the public space and on official documents, because when you tweet now on X platform, whatever you have put out there is not for you alone. It's for Nigerians and indeed the world. And so we'll be calling on the presidency and our colleagues in the National Assembly to set up individual and separate inquiries into the impartiality of the INEC chairman. Nobody goes to a football match with the referee adorning the jersey of one of the teams. So on this note, we want to put it to INEC that their self-exoneration, which they attempted, does not gel with the Nigerian people, and we insist that the issues must be discussed fully and wholly. I thank you for this opportunity.
State that I adopt wholeheartedly and wholly the briefing done by our sister, Right Honorable Nena Ukeje. I agree that the ADC has been as humane as an opposition political party can be. But I'd like to sound a note of warning that this government should not take that for weakness. We're not begging. We're simply asking everybody to do what they're supposed to do. The judiciary should do their work. The electoral umpire should do their work as they are assigned. As it stands, the ADC doesn't have confidence in the INEC as presently constituted and will continue to say so. It's surprising that the head of the function has become a press secretary to the INEC chairman. That when accusations are put against him, he sits there in the other arm of government to defend him, just like he defends other functionaries in the executive. We know that he has destroyed, the party has destroyed the legislature. We're ashamed to say so. We were there, and we knew what we did when occasion demanded. We're ashamed of what we see there today. But we believe that those who think they have a field day should remember they don't. They will all give account. If anybody tries to mess up the democracy, we will will account for it personally and corporately. Thank you very much.
I want to tender apologies. One, we want to apologize to Nigeria on behalf of the National Assembly because of the reckless statement coming from the first son of the First Lady. That's Akpabio, who said he's the first son of the First Lady. This is not the culture of legislators. He's not speaking for the legislators. Nigerians should take note of this. Secondly, as you mentioned, I should speak for the Northeast. We want to tender apology to Nigerians on behalf of the good people of the Northeast. Nephew Bala is from Northeast, so I've been ashamed sometimes to hear they are adding Gombe in his name, because this is not our culture. People of Northeast are known to be people of integrity. Nephew Bala consented to all the process that brought David Mark, lead executive, into existence.
Constitute an inquiry to check his capacity.
I think so. The first NEC meeting ADC held regarding the constitution of this coalition was on the 29th May 2024 in Nikon Luxury. 2024 in Nikon Luxury, which I attended as observer. I was invited to that meeting. In that meeting, in their agenda, item 10 stated they mandated the NWC on behalf of the NEC to continue discussion with various groups to form either merger, coalition, collaboration with various groups to form a strong opposition. Based on that, the NWC engaged with various groups to agree on the terms of coalition. And the ABC Constitution, NEC or NWC will take decision on behalf of the NEC. And also in the same constitution, empowered the national chairman to take the same decision. They have this national chairman have the same power to take decision on behalf of the NEC, pending when they will convene a NEC meeting to ratify that decision. And all those meetings, Nafiu attended. And he have assented to all the decisions that have been taken. So we feel ashamed if they are addressing Nasiru as somebody who came from Northeast. So we are calling Nigerians to treat Nafiu as Nafiu, not somebody from Gombe or from Northeast, because it is not in our culture. Secondly, I'm calling on Nigerians, like my brother said, silence is just always golden. Sometimes if you keep silent, the silence will take you to graves. You will be permanently silent in the grave. This is the time that we should wake up. We should take our destinies into our hands. I have never seen a people that have so much appetite for money like this government. If we allow these people to continue, they should either sell Nigeria or buy Nigeria. This is the truth. Decision left for us to take. Whether he's afraid or not, he will realize it on the election day. Inshallah, ADC will arise and shine. Thank you.
Supervised the glitches in the last 2023 general election has now been elevated to the position of director of ICT in INEC. So what does it tell you? We want to send this out to say that we are wary
of a doctor that the wife sells coffin. So the combination of what INEC has done using the administrative powers, not a court judgment, to recognize the leadership of ADC. We want to say that INEC, as it is presently constituted, in combination of elevating a man, no investigation, no report of what happened in 2023, and you are rewarding him with the position of Director of ICT. Now, INEC, as it stands, one can clearly state that INEC presently constitutes a threat to our democracy. And that signal must be sent that INEC were aware of what we are doing. And the judiciary as well, you have nothing to fear to save democracy. You did it in the time past. Now under civilian administration, you don't have any fear. Nigerians and we, the legislators, are right there with you that justice must be done to save our democracy from abuse, collapsing into a one-party arrangement. Like the same Senator Dino Warns will say, let me borrow his word, that Mr. President wants coronation. It will never happen in Nigeria and under democratic watch. ADC is ready, and I want to use this opportunity again to ask our teaming supporters to go ahead and register with ADC. By God's grace, justice shall prevail. So having said that, we yield the floor to the press to take few questions. So thank you so much. The press, any question? All right, please.
That Mr. Puba promised to be made the executive vice chairman Northeast. You know, he was the deputy chairman and was promised to meet the executive chairman Northeast, but the party, the David Marker faction, reneged on that promise. I want to know if something like that actually took place and whether the Mark faction actually betrayed him.
All right. Any further question? Yes. All right. All the questions. So that
yes. Thank you very much. There is no alternative. We are standing by all that we have done. We have worked on this project for over 2 years. So which platform will you go to? Where are they coming from? I know that's what the government wants to hear. But can I tell you something? We are not going. We're going nowhere. We are here. And the first thing must be done. We can't have a one-party state. That's one. Two. The Nafi Bala. How do three people constitute a faction? Dumebi, Nafi Bala, and the Abedide. Are they faction? How can they be faction? Where is the chairman? They should organize their convention too now. These things are passed in this country. Actually, it's a bit of blessed memory. He did it. What was the answer? And the judges who did what they did, where did they go to? Please, let's be guided in Nigeria. One man cannot call Nigeria.
I want to say that if you think there's a fashion of ADC, please ask them where is their national secretariat. Because you cannot have, by the rules of INEC, you cannot have a party without national secretariat, without party office. So if you see there's a fashion of ADC, the first question is that where is their office? And now we have given you the name of the chairman, the national secretary, all the 5 deputy national chairmen, the 6 zonal chairmen, up to ward level. Ask them to give you the name of their national officers. And then, no, don't even go to states. Just national officer, list of national officers. They cannot produce it. So where is the faction? Let me tell you this. When they say status quo ante bellum, forget the jargon, the Latin jargon. It means the situation before hostility. Situation before hostility. Nothing was suspended from ADC. Sorry, nothing resigned from ADC May 17th, 2025. Then the neck of the party held on the 29th of July 2025, nothing was present, and that neck ratified the chairmanship and secretaryship of David Mark, Adegbeshola, and others. And nothing went to court September 2nd. September 2nd, 2025. And court is saying, whatever the situation is before September 2nd, go back to it. And the situation before September 2nd is that David Mark-led NWC was in place. It's as simple as Abalani. Very, very simple. The consumption is supposed to flow. When you have a proper Abula and Amala, it will just pass through. So please, let's not be confused. And to fight your local, we are not speaking to the issues in courts. Nobody here has spoken to the issues in courts. ADC is obeying the court order that said that status quo should be maintained. And in law, when they said status quo is not based. Status quo is situational. So they said we should go back to what the situation was before he went to court. And the situation before he went to court is that David Mark is the chairman of, so we are the ones obeying it. And everything we are saying here, they are the ones who disobey the court, including INEC. Because INEC is behaving now like there's a football match between Man U and Arsenal, and the referee is bringing Man U jersey. That is the situation. So the truth of the matter is that no, INEC is not a court. Section 84 of the Electoral Act is clear, and it says that courts have no powers to entertain issues that have to do with the internal runnings of political parties. So if courts have no powers, how can INEC have power? And Supreme Court judgment, plethora of them have also said the same thing, that courts have no power to interfere in the internal workings of political parties. And there are not only in the Court of Appeal, in Supreme Court there are more than 3 or 4 judgments in that regard. That is why we are saying we are waiting to see. Maybe Supreme Court will swallow itself. We are waiting. So we are not speaking to the issues in court. We are obeying what the court have said. It is INEC that is not obeying. The Electoral Act, as amended, states clearly that there is a precondition for convention. That is mandatory 21 days notice, submission of your register, and stating the venue and dates. And ABC complied with this 100%. And the next phrase that follows, lawyers are here, Chile, is here. The next phrase that follows says that, having complied with these prerequisites, INEC shall monitor congresses and conventions. So it's mandatory. So it is INEC now that have erred. We having fulfilled the prerequisites and conditions precedents. It is INEC now that have failed to monitor, because it did not say may, it said shall. Because we have fulfilled our own end of the bargain. So let us not be confused. Tinubu will leave the villa on May 29th, 2027, with all his relations staying in the best quarters of the villa.
Thank you so much. And to the media and general public, our spokesperson have expressed our mind and direct to the points on the judiciary, on the executive, and to be precise, on the president and the chief of staff. We are solidly behind what she said. We agreed on what she said. I'm calling Nigerians to watch the oncoming events, maybe in the next 2 or 3 days. What I mean by that is that we believe and we have confidence that the judiciary will do what they are supposed to do. I don't want to waste much time. I will likely stop here.
Thank you very much, the Chair, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Personally, I'm not surprised to the attitude of the Rebel Party, as it were. In our place, they said it's only a tree that has a well-ripe fruit that people throw stick to. So we are here to take over the government by January. So I'm not surprised that APC is throwing these standards. So our resilience convention, Dino was there, my caucus leader was there, I was secretary to the venue. They nearly stopped us, but we were there, and it was a success, and we'll continue. Will not relent on having this type of culture impress in the world for
You the floor back to this with the mic. Let me, Honorable Hassan and Honorable Chile Boa, please just make your few remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Hassan Salim from Benue. I would like to lend my voice to the speech that has been made or presented by our dear sister here, and also my colleagues that have also spoken before me. My point is to reiterate the fact that Nigerians are watching the judiciary, because whatever we do today, no matter the protest and all of that we're trying to carry out on behalf of the Nigerian people, it is my belief that
He has already, published their own timelines for the primary election. Leaving ADC in limbo is not justice, and we believe that tomorrow, unambiguously, that the Supreme Court will make a clear pronouncement, not the one that will go back and start knocking our heads. And so thank you so much, and we believe that we see all of us tomorrow.